I'm Mai Salazar, bringing you today's burning issues and the hottest news here on Newsforce.
Here are today's headlines. Boat used by 4 missing PCG rescuers found. Search and rescue operations continues. DA reports over 91,000 fishermen and farmers affected by Typhoon Egay. Senator Grace Poe seeks investigation on Rizal boat tragedy. Philippine National Police yet to receive PBBM's copy of 18 police officers' resignations and purported link to illegal drugs. National Museum of the Philippines Cebu to boost regional tourism development. Philippine soft tennis team scoop up medals in the ISTF meet. Fair and balanced news. Comprehensive reports that will take you to the heart of the action. This is Newsforce.
For today's top story, the aluminum boat used by the 4 missing Philippine Coast Guard or PCG rescuers in Barangay Fuga, Apari, Cagayan has been found yesterday, July 30, 2023. According to the Coast Guard District Northeastern Luzon, it was spotted by the MV Eagle ferry while anchoring in the waters covered by Calayan Island. Meanwhile, extensive aerial and surface search and rescue or SAR operations continue to find the 4 PCG rescuers who went missing during the height of Typhoon Egay last July 26, 2023. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. assured that the victims of Typhoon Egay will be provided with housing assistance and support from the government. Danisa Lopez has the full report.
As Typhoon Egay left residents of northern Luzon homeless, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. assured the affected residents that housing repair assistance, emergency support, and construction materials shall be provided. President Marcos Jr. stated that the government is now identifying individuals whose homes were destroyed by the typhoon. The president explained that the Department of Human Settlements and Urban Development will provide emergency support to residents whose houses were damaged, where the National Housing Authority will collaborate to offer assistance and facilitate the construction of new homes. Currently, Egay-hit victims are in evacuation centers with medical teams to ensure their welfare and safety. President Marcos Jr. is also expediting rehabilitation efforts to enable residents in evacuation centers to return to their houses as soon as possible. For Golden Nation Network, this is Danisa Lopez.
In a related story, the Department of Agriculture issued a bulletin on the damage and losses caused by Typhoon Egay in areas of Luzon. Based on the agency's report, the damage cost about 512.9 million pesos to 1.36 billion pesos, with a volume of production loss of 62,259 metric tons that affected almost 90,000 agricultural land and over 91,000 farmers. Due to this incident, the DA Disaster Risk Reduction Management Operations Center has provided food, cash, and medicine assistance through Survival and Recovery Loan Program and Quick Response Fund Program. Separately, the Armed Forces of the Philippines, or AFP, will consider China's request for joint military exercises, considering its aggressive actions in the West Philippine Sea, or WPS. According to AFP spokesperson Colonel Nat'l Aguilar, the military leadership will also engage with higher authorities to consider the implications of any potential joint military exercises between the two states. It can be remembered that the AFP and Philippine Coast Guard, or PCG, recorded Chinese aggression against Filipino fishermen, troops, and coast guards in the West Philippine Sea, including the swarming of Chinese maritime military vessels, the shadowing of dangerous maneuvers near Filipino Navy and Coast Guard ships, and pointing lasers by their military ships at PCG soldiers. On to other developments, the Department of Labor and Employment highlighted the importance of skills development and technical vocational education in boosting job opportunities in the country. Here's Jade Buhoy for the full report.
The Department of Labor and Employment or DOLE Secretary Bienvenido Laguesma discussed the importance of the agency's contribution in the government to boost growth of employment sector. As part of this, Laguesma expounded President Ferdinand Marcos Jr.'s vow to create better quality and sustainable employment opportunities in the country. To boost job opportunities through poverty reduction initiatives, inclusion of education objectives with labor market requirements, capitalizing on skill standards and mechanism, and enhancement of investment in technical vocational education and training. As of this year, the Philippine employment rate stood at 95.3%, while labor force participation rose to 65.6% a year after pandemic took place. For Golden Nation Network, this is Jade Buhoy.
To ensure a seamless traffic flow in the upcoming 2023 FIBA World Cup, the Metropolitan Manila Development Authority or MMDA is preparing for a comprehensive traffic management plan. The Department of Public Works and Highways is urged by the MMDA to present a work plan to identify areas that need blocking. Additionally, the MMDA Command Center in Pasig City will also be utilized for monitoring to ensure a successful FIBA sports event. For weather updates, Typhoon Falcon may leave the country's area of responsibility on Tuesday, August 1. However, it may continue to strengthen the effect of the southwest monsoon, which will bring rains over the following days. It is currently located at 1,070 kilometers east of extreme northern Luzon and moving north-northwestward. With this, monsoon rains are expected over Zambales and Bataan. Meantime, occasional rains will be felt in Metro Manila, Pangasinan, Tarlac, Pampanga, Bulacan, and Occidental Mindoro. Cloudy skies with scattered rain showers and thunderstorms are anticipated over the Bicol region caused by the trough of Typhoon Falcon. While western Visayas and the rest of Luzon will also experience cloudy skies with scattered rain showers and thunderstorms due to the southwest monsoon. Moreover, partly cloudy to cloudy skies with isolated rain showers or thunderstorms are expected in the rest of the country. Coming up next on Newsforce. President Marcos Jr. proclaims August 8 to 14 as Philippine Space Week to promote science, space, and technology. PBBM inaugurates Interagency Council for Pasig River Rehabilitation. Senator Grace Poe seeks investigation on Rizal boat tragedy. Stay tuned for more stories and reports when Newsforce returns. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. declared August 8 to 14 as Philippine Space Week to boost public interest in space science and technology under Proclamation Number 302. The Philippine Space Agency will be leading the promotion and annual celebration of the Philippine Space Week. Filipinos are encouraged to participate in any event that will be imposed to embrace the significance of space science and technology. In other news, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. has established the Interagency Council for the Pasig River Urban Development through the issuance of Executive Order Number 35 on July 25. The Interagency Council is part of the government's response to boost the rehabilitation and enhancement of the bank quality of Pasig River. This issued order is also provided under RA 386 or the Civil Code of the Philippines that implement relocation of informal settlers and acceptance of grants from local and foreign subjects in accordance with regulations. Senator Grace Poe called for a thorough investigation over the tragic boat capsizing off the waters of Binangonan, Rizal. Daniza Lopez has the full report.
Senator Grace Poe expressed her dismay and sympathy on the recent Rizal boat tragedy. Senator Poe emphasized that the number of lives lost were too high due to negligence or worse, corruption. Poe declared that the Senate Committee on Public Service is ready to initiate its own investigation to uncover the truth behind the tragedy. The senator is seeking reports from the Philippine Coast Guard and the boat owner regarding the overloading of passengers beyond the vessel's capacity and permitting the boat to operate despite of bad weather. According to Poe, there were reports that passengers on board were not provided with life vests, as this is a requirement when sailing for safety concern. The senator said legal action is being contemplated and that termination of job alone for those accountable would not suffice since they could easily find a new employment without facing any consequences. For Golden Nation Network, this is Daniza Lopez.
Moreover, according to Quezon City's 4th District Representative Marvin Rillo, the use of life jackets on motorized passenger boats should be made mandatory following the tragic sinking of the motorboat MB Princess Aya, which claimed the lives of more than 20 passengers in Binangonan, Rizal. Reports stated that the boat had a seating capacity of 42 passengers, but there were 67 people on board when it capsized. At present, to date, a criminal inquiry is in the works. With this, Rillo affirmed that wearing life jackets on passenger boats should serve as a simple and beneficial precaution to avoid such accidents mentioned to happen once more. The Philippine National Police or PNP is waiting for Malacanang's formal copy of President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr.'s declaration accepting the resignations of 18 senior police officers with alleged connections to illegal drugs. The 18 senior PNP officers resigned while the National Police Commission looked into 953 law enforcement officials' alleged involvement in the illegal drug trade. It can be recalled that the submission of courtesy resignation of all colonels and police generals was upon President Marcos Jr.'s directive and a part of the administration's anti-drug initiatives. On to another report, the Department of Interior and Local Government allocated relief assistance and secured the safety of communities in most areas of Luzon due to severe tropical storm Falcon. Here's Jade Buhoy for the full details.
Department of Interior and Local Government Secretary Ben-Hur Abalos stated that their agency is prepared on securing the safety of affected communities in most areas of Luzon due to severe tropical storm Falcon and the enhanced southwest monsoon. Abalos said that this initiative of the agency is in line with the directives of President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. to work closely with national government agencies to hasten support and assistance on the local government units or LGU of affected areas. In relation to this, he urged LGUs to enforce no sailing policy for fishermen and seafaring vessels in accordance with issued gale warnings. The DILG further urged the public to prepare their own e-balde or emergency balde in times of calamity that contains food, first aid kit, and hygiene kit among others. For Golden Nation Network, this is Jade Buhoy.
Relief and search operations in different towns of Pangasinan are still ongoing due to the recent impacts of Typhoon Egay. Meanwhile, distribution of food packs and search operations for the affected Egay residents was led by the Provincial Social Welfare and Development Office, or PSWDO, and Provincial Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Office, or PDRRMO of Pangasinan. As of today, a total of 7,855 relief packs have been distributed to the residents. In a related development, several families have also been evacuated from flooded towns and are now safe and monitored by their respective local government units. Up next on Newsforce. 64 Filipino assistant teachers to join Japan exchange and teaching program. National Museum of the Philippines, Cebu, to boost regional tourism development. IDPs of Surigao del Sur return to their homes. Stay tuned for more stories and reports when Newsforce returns. The Japanese embassy in Manila reported that 64 Filipino assistant language teachers, or ALTs, will be traveling to Tokyo this year upon being accepted into the competitive Japan Exchange and Teaching, or JET program. The Japanese ambassador to the Philippines, Kazuhiko Koshikawa, remarked how the amount of JET participants has increased since the pandemic began. According to Koshikawa, one of the Japanese government officials responsible for the JET program's more than 30 years of existence, the project aims to encourage internationalization and mutual trust, with participants being anticipated to serve as cultural links between Japan and the Philippines. Meantime, 43 families or internally displaced persons, or IDPs, returned to their homes today after being evacuated to steer clear from the MPA rebellions and troops of the 67th Infantry Battalion in Sitio Almeria and Urabangon encounter in Barangay Bigaan, Hinatuan, Surigao del Sur. The IDPs are residents who were forced to leave their homes but remained in the country's border waiting for a chance to go back. The local government unit, or LGUs, are mandated to ensure the safety of the residents' mental state and welfare before allowing them to go home. Moreover, the Department of Social Welfare and Development Caraga and LGU of Hinatuan provides the IDPs relief aid containing food and home essential needs. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. and First Lady Liza Marcos are joined by Department of Tourism, or DOT, Secretary Cristina Garcia Frasco, National Museum of the Philippines, or NMP Chairperson Andoni Aboitiz, NMP Director General Jeremy Barnes, Cebu Governor Gwendolyn Garcia, and Cebu City Mayor Michael Rama in the inauguration of the NMP Cebu. Frasco stated that the recently established museum, the first of its kind in Cebu and among the biggest in the Visayas area, will boost tourism growth not only in Cebu but throughout the region. President Marcos highlighted in his address that converting the monument into an NMP-managed property is consistent with the national government's aim of promoting tourism and nurturing the Philippines' national identity. The DOT, under its development arm, the Tourism Infrastructure and Enterprise Zone Authority, or TIEZA, backed the NMP Cebu in its 4-year journey to its current status. On sports, the Philippine soft tennis team bring home 1 gold, 2 silvers, and 1 bronze after their successful campaign at the International Soft Tennis Federation World Tour Championships at Pattaya, Thailand. The Filipino soft netters were crowned after defeating Cambodia in the women's team event. The silver medalists who fell short are Princess Katindig under women's single event, together with Christy Sanyosa and Bea Abriega in the women's double event. Meanwhile, Michael Enriquez won a spot in the 40 and above men's doubles tournament against Cambodia. And here's a recap of today's headlines.
Here are today's headlines. Boat used by 4 missing PCG rescuers found. Search and rescue operations continues. DA reports over 91,000 fishermen and farmers affected by Typhoon Egay. Senator Grace Poe seeks investigation on Rizal boat tragedy. Philippine National Police yet to receive PBBM's copy of 18 police officers' resignations and purported link to illegal drugs. National Museum of the Philippines Cebu to boost regional tourism development. Philippine soft tennis team scoop up medals in the ISTF meet. Fair and balanced news. Comprehensive reports that will take you to the heart of the action. This is Newsforce.
And those were the top stories of the day. Stay updated on the day's biggest stories. Get updates on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Golden Nation Network. I'm Mai Salazar, and this is Newsforce.